check, 1, 2.
Go! Curious about real estate? Yes! Then you've come to the right place. Get the knowledge you need. Get over the fear and get started. This is the Michael Quarles Real Estate Show with your host, Michael Quarles.
Hello, everybody. Michael Quarles with the Michael Quarles Real Estate Show. Today is Thursday, and we have podcast 251. We have broken over the 250th podcast. That's not including the 90-some daily deals and maybe 20 interviews that I've done. So we're at 300 and something. That's cool stuff. We have 5 questions sent in by real estate investors. And remember, send it to support@michaelquarles.com if you have a question. Before we get started, let's talk about the real estate coaching program, $247 a month. It is going to go up a little bit, or $1197 for 6 months. And if you want in, please get in. It is getting very exciting and fun for folks. We are now up to 4 classes a week. We have a accountability coach that works with you on things like accountability, role-playing, scheduling, to-dos, all those things that will encourage you to be highly successful. You and I get to chat quite a bit. There's some videos and audios to watch. I think there's 60 or so of each. All of the contracts that I use to be successful in the daily business of buying houses. Yes, I am still an active real estate investor. Some coaches out there are not. I happen to be one. And then we just launched our CRM, and for all of our coaching students, they get it for free as part of being in the coaching program, and that thing will keep you going. And we got a really big announcement coming up within the next 30 days for all the coaching students. So get in before the price goes up. Get in. Let's start learning this business. Let's start changing your life and making a difference in those people that we help. Question number 1. Does a house with no mortgage but has a home equity line of credit affect selling the house on a contract for deed? Well, it kind of has a mortgage, I guess. If you have a line of credit against it, what I would do is I'd freeze the line of credit. So, either write to you the check for the balance, which is easy way to get cash out of a house, or have formal authorization or memorialized formally that credit line has been canceled or closed, not canceled because we don't want to give the money back yet. I'm assuming that you're not buying it on contract for deed, but you want to sell it on a contract for deed. I do not know why you'd want to sell it on either land contract, contract for deed, performance contract. But you could, I guess. I don't know why you would. I certainly wouldn't. I'd do a wrap. Yeah, I don't know why you would want to do a contract for deed. Gosh. I really don't. The contract for deed, for those of you that don't know, a performance has to happen before the deed is passed to the buyer. I'm not worried about that. I'm not ever worried about that. So I'll do a wrap. I like the wrap. I don't like juniors financing when I resell. If it's a mini deal, I guess maybe in this case it's a mini deal. But if it's a massive deal, I'm just going to flip the thing and hotel it and pull all of my equity position out, pay off that credit line. So I'm stretched to find the reason you'd want to do a contract for deed. If you're worried about the performance of the buyer, don't worry about it. Just rent it out, lease it out. Maybe do a lease option or something to that effect. If you're worried, if I wanted to hold a note, I'd do a wrap. Yeah, I just wouldn't support a contract for deed. Question number 2. I've seen some we buy cash statements on websites and yellow letter samples of other rehabbers. I've also heard some rehabbers talk about how they use hard money or private money to finance their deals. I'm wondering if I'm misunderstanding what we buy cash means. If you're using private or hard money, are you financing, not buying cash, right? Wrong. No. Keep in mind, everybody buys for cash. Every transaction you buy, whether it's a time transaction or cash is immediate upon close, you're buying for cash. So now let's look at the definition of that. As long as, and here's how I look at it, as long as I'm at the close of escrow, if I've promised to give my seller cash, it doesn't matter where I get my cash from. I'm not making my purchase contingent upon qualifying for a loan. I'm not making my purchase contingent upon a lender financing it. I'm not making my purchase contingent upon anything to do with money. It's not contingent upon money. Maybe contingent upon, the condition of the property and what I find out through my investigations, but it's not subject to a contingency of funds. So I am handing, in most cases, the seller money at the close of escrow. And if the seller says, I want to do seller carryback, I'm going to hand them cash on the terms of the seller carryback. So I'm giving the seller cash either way. Now, if you're getting stuck on that, that's fine. I understand. It's an area that you could get stuck. So it's not unreasonable to be stuck here. But think about this for a second. Most people walk around probably with $20 in their pocket. And let's say for instance, that's all the money you had. Let's say, for instance, you wanted to advertise I buy houses for cash. And what that meant for you was you weren't going to get a loan. It didn't mean that you were going to get seller financing. It didn't mean anything other than you were going to use your own cash to buy a house. I would still profess to you that you could buy a house for cash. May not be a big house. May not be a nice house. May not be a very expensive house because you only have $20. But you could buy a house for cash. So most of us that have been in the business long enough, we have a bank of cash. We have cash. Very rarely do we use it, but we still have it. And whatever I negotiate with my seller, if they truly wanted, quote unquote, Mike, I only want cash, you can't buy this house unless you give me cash, then I can only give them the amount of money that I think is pertinent or relative in that situation. So I'm going to mitigate the cost of my cash, the non-use of my cash someplace else, the stress of having less cash in the bank kind of stuff. But, if they want cash and they want me to make sure that's all I give them, they're going to get cash and they're going to get a lower value of cash. Now, if they allow me to, they don't even have to allow, but let's assume for a second that I allowed them to allow me to get a hard money loan, but it had to be converted to cash to them, which is what a hard money loan is, or an equity position loan. It's still cash. Again, I'm not making the contract contingent upon me qualifying for a loan. I am closing with cash. And when they agree to seller financing, I am closing with cash and a cash payment upon the terms of the note. So we're buying for cash. And I can advertise I buy for cash. My phone number is 1-800-SELL-FOR-CASH. So, very clear. You want to sell your house for cash? Call me. Doesn't mean we buy every house for cash. It just means that we can buy your house for cash. The amount of money we agree to, both parties, and we'll fall forward. So don't get caught up so much on maybe you don't have a lot of cash. Can you get a lot of cash? Can you find cash? If you can't, how much cash do you have? That's the maximum amount you can pay for a house. Unless you start negotiating seller financing, sub-2 financing, those kinds of things. So we buy houses cash. That's what that means to me. And I don't have an issue with it. I don't think it's unethical to say we buy houses for cash or 1-800-SELL-FOR-CASH. It's not, because I do buy it. I can make you that offer. You won't like it. You'd want the other offer because it's not going to be as much as the other offer, but I can still make you an offer. And if you take it, I can still give you my cash. So don't beat yourself up too much. Great question. I understand the question. I understand the concern, but it's not a real concern. It is a real concern if someone's going out and doesn't know where their cash is coming from, but enters into a cash agreement. That's wrong. hands down, that's wrong. If you enter into agreement with a seller to give them $50,000 cash for their house in 10 days, but you don't have the wherewithal to do that because you haven't set your systems up, you haven't set your hard money, your equity lenders up, or you don't have $50,000 in cash in the bank, well, shame on you. That's wrong. It's unethical. But if you've already done all that, it's not unethical. You can perform. That's the important and that's the key component. Can you perform on a promise to pay what you've agreed to? And if you have and you can, then nothing's wrong with it. Question number 3. I noticed a home in the area that is up for rent each and every year. Would you approach the owner and ask them if they ever thought of selling their house? Every time you see a for rent sign, you approach them. I'm going to go get my for rent cold call script. I'll be right back. Bear with me. Okay, thanks for waiting. Here I am. I'm back. I got my handy dandy cold call script for active for rent sellers. Here we go. Ring, ring, ring. Hello. I'm looking for the owner of the property at 123 Apple Street. Oh, that's me. Oh, hi. My name is Michael Quarles with I Buy Houses. I noticed that you had that house up for rent, and I buy rentals. Actually, all the time. And being a landlord myself, I know how frustrating the rental business can be. Have you thought about selling your rental before you spend the time and money to fix it up and re-rent it? You have. Terrific. And you just go, okay, I'll continue. I buy rentals, vacant or occupied. Would there be a good time to come out and talk to you about whether you want to sell your rental or not? Would today at 2 or 4 o'clock be better? 2 o'clock would be better. Outstanding. Maybe they don't want to sell. If you don't mind, I'm going to send you my card and check back with you from time to time, if that's okay with you. It is great. Thanks so much. If they want to discuss selling, I buy rentals like yours all the time, and I have found that if the seller is willing, we can come up with a solution that works best for both of us. Is that okay with you? It is. Outstanding. Sometimes the only way we can buy rentals we look at is to take over the debt and pay you your equity. That means the loan will stay in your name until it's sold, assumed, or paid off. Is that a problem? Yes or no? Sometimes even buy the house under a lease option. Is that an issue? So if we can pay you your equity, guarantee and make the payments and be responsible for all the repairs, you'd sell us the house, right? You would. Terrific. What time today would be better for me to come out and talk to you about buying it? Would 2 o'clock or 4 o'clock be better? And before I come out, there's just a few more questions, and you start asking them about that. And it goes pretty cool. You think about this for a second. A person who has a house for rent could be one of 3 types of people for you. And you got to keep this in mind. You got them on the phone. Keep this in mind. They could be a seller. So they may, I've been wanting to sell this stupid thing. I wish I didn't have it. No, love being a landlord. Love it. Can't wait to buy another one. So they could be a potential buyer for you in the future. But you know what else they could be for you? Think about this for a second. Do you ever do any joint ventures with investors locally? If I found a house and needed a money partner on it, is that something you do? They could be your money person. Wouldn't that be kind of cool? So when you talk to these folks, understand the multiple levels of types of people that they are. And they could be. Don't just settle on, hey, I want to see if I have a seller. Maybe you got a buyer. Maybe you got a financer. Maybe you got a joint JV guy. Think about it. Okay? Great question.
Thanks for listening. We'll be right back. Are you running out of leads? It's time you tried Yellow Letters. At yellowletters.com, get motivated seller leads through yellow letters, postcards, zip letters, typed professional letters, greeting cards, door hangers, and business cards. Yellow Letters is a full-service marketing company created with your success in mind. Get the personal attention you need to get your direct mail campaign started and get in touch at yellowletters.com.
And we are back in 3, 2, 1.
Question number 4. Can you assign a contract to a retail buyer who's getting a loan from a mortgage company? That's really, I think you can, but again, the mortgage company is going to have their rules and regulations. Maybe they don't want assignments. I don't know why they wouldn't. But yeah, in most cases you can. Now here's the thing, guys and gals. Here's the thing. It's really important you guys start learning the rules of your state and what you can and cannot do from an assignability perspective. I'm out here in California, and you can legally only assign 8 contracts a year from a real estate perspective. Only 8. After that, you better have a broker's license, a real estate license attached to a broker's license, or there better be a broker attached to this transaction, or you're violating the Bureau of Real Estate laws. And I know that to be a fact. So every state has a little bit different rule and regulations about it and about signability. Got to learn how to do this stuff. It's not that hard to do it right. Just don't do it wrong. Question number 5. Oh my goodness, this is going to be a tough question. What is the best non-property investment that you've ever made to enhance your real estate business? Wow. The best non-property investment that I've ever made to enhance my real estate business. Wow. Let me think. I need that music. Whatever that is, that Jeopardy music while I'm thinking. It's the best non-property investment that you've made to enhance your real estate business. Gosh. See, I have 3 that I think they're really good and they've enhanced my real estate business. Okay, so I'm going to go through all 3. Bear with me. I'll be fast. And I'm going to take them in and out of order. So they could be in order, they could be out of order. In either is okay. It's when I started investing in people, when I started helping people I didn't know who couldn't help themselves. That, for me, was huge. For me and not just my real estate business, but in all my businesses. When I started giving back, when I started tithing, not just to church, but to tithe, to be responsible to the community from a philanthropy perspective, that helped a lot. The other thing, and it's a cliche, so it's going to be, everybody's going to say this. I hope they do anyway. When I invested in myself, when I started learning, I guess, but not learning necessarily about real estate, but learning about business, I went through some really good business programs. And that there were some ahas in there that really to this day and every day that I'm in business and thinking about business that have molded success for me. So the investment in myself and learning more. I don't think we can learn enough. And for me, I don't learn a lot about real estate because I've done it so long. That's not true. I just don't intentionally learn about real estate, if that makes any sense. I learn about business kinds of things. In learning about business, I was able to create a sense, and I don't know why I have it. I just do. I have this sense. I see things differently than a lot of folks see things. but I had to develop that, and it's one of the things that allow me to make a decision literally in a heartbeat, because I know I can't make a mistake. Not that I won't make a mistake, but what I mean by I can't make a mistake, there's nothing that I can do because of the systems that I have set in place that would ever cause me to fail again. And I failed. I've done that, and I'll raise my hand to that. But I won't ever do it again, because I've invested in me, and I've learned how to never fail again. And that's something everybody should learn. And the third thing, and as silly as it seems to be, or could seem to be, when I learned what I knew. We walk through life, whether we're a teacher or a truck driver or an attorney or a CPA or postal carrier, work at a store, whatever it is. We walk through life having a skill set. We know, we do something and we know how to do it. Okay? But we can't define it. Like it's not our intention to define it. Like, we don't get up and I'm going to say I'm a school teacher, I'm going to go to school, I'm going to teach kids, and this is how I do it. This is why I do it. This is the result that I get. We don't walk through life like that. As your school teacher, we get up, we go to school, we do our lesson plans and teach our lessons, come home, and do it again the next day. But we don't know what we know. And so for me, the third thing is when I learned I know what I know. And I hope everybody learns what that feels like, because for me it happened when I started speaking and getting on stage. And when I first started getting on stage, I was like, I was losing like 10 pounds, in perspiration, waiting to go walk up there and talk about real estate for hours. But there was this aha moment when I realized what I knew and the amount of knowledge that I had. My wife told me one day, she says, Mike, you have forgotten what you know. And so when she said that, I started remembering what I knew, kind of thing. And there's some power in that investment, in that working and realizing how good you are in whatever it is that you do. That's an investment that if you can figure that out, your confidence, your ability to perform, your net paycheck will go up because people will see it in you and raise the, how much they want to pay you for your services, whether you're an employee or an employer or what have you. To recap those things, the investment in other people was one of the best things I ever did that helped my real estate investment career. The investment in myself, learning business, not learning the real estate business, but learning business, understanding business, understanding the concept of stop loss, understanding how to set things in place so things don't ever go away, how to position yourself in a position of business power. I think it's important. And then realizing who you are and what you know and the value in that and the investment it takes to do that, because you just can't wake up one day and go, well, I guess I'm really smart. No, it doesn't work that way. You wake up that day and you go, I guess I'm really smart, but how smart are you? And how do you weigh that against somebody else? So maybe there is someone else smarter. And then really focusing on what you know. And then remembering what you forgot that you knew. And then putting that to paper so you can help other people. So those are the three things. I almost put 4 in there. I almost said Bentley. I got to tell you, everybody here on the listening, and man, this is probably getting really long. I don't know how long it is now. But the day I bought my Bentley, it really enhanced my real estate business. So, a stupid thing, but it did. Thanks, guys, for the questions. I really appreciate them. Sorry I got a little bit all about Mike on that last question. I apologize again. Talk to you guys soon. Till then, bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the Michael Quarles Real Estate Show. Get more info and stay in touch at michaelquarles.com.